It is undeniable now, folks. Of course, the Toronto Raptors have had a roller coaster of a season, but over the month of January, now leading into February, this team has gotten a lot of players back healthy, and they have proven one thing to the fan base. It's official, it's undeniable, it is confirmed, and it has me very, very pumped about the future of this team, about the future of this organization, and it is the fact that this core, Scottie Barnes, RJ Barrett, heck, tonight even Immanuel Quickley in the mix, Gradey Dick, Jakob Poeltl, this core, when you insert proper role players around them, not the fact that the young guys are bad, but they are young. They are usually ineffective on the approach to winning. When you insert just NBA veterans that are coming out, don't do anything crazy, special, but play the NBA way. Just play like vets, play a step, play like competent NBA guys out there. This team is legit. There's been a few things that have completely changed for this team over the past month. Even in the losses, we've seen it change in these stretch of games. And of course, we're not sure what's going to happen with this trade deadline. I mean, no one knows what's going to happen with this trade deadline after what just happened today or last night, but it has been an absolute whirlwind. But I am very, very pumped. I want to break down what I saw from this game, from the big win against LA Clippers. First time in my head, I think we've ever beaten Kawhi since he's been on the Clippers. I might be wrong, but it feels like it. But we'll dive into all that. But folks, if you guys are a part of the 67% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with this team. I mean, I should be plugging the entire Digest network because Lakers Digest, Mavs Digest is going mad right now too. But we're talking Raps. We're diving into some stuff, and I am feeling really good. I'm feeling really good about this team, about what's going on here now at this point, because the Toronto Raptors just came out and beat the LA Clippers. Yes, the red-hot LA Clippers, 108-115, and pretty handily beat them throughout this entire game. This was not some fluke-it-out some fluke-it-out win. We saw Immanuel Quickley return and had an awesome game in 17 minutes of action, 11 points, 6 assists, no Shead, no Davion Mitchell, but my goodness, this team, again, we are young. We are going to be inconsistent. We are developing some players. I'm not calling it and saying, hey, we're immediately pushing for the playoffs. We're doing this type of stuff. But this team, when the full lineup, the full cohort, the full squad is out there in the mix, it just looks really, really good, really, really effective. This team is motivated to play for head coach Darko Rajaković, and you can see it for every guy up and down the roster. And the first guy I do want to shout out and give some credit to is Scottie Barnes, because again, you might look at the stats: 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Oh, that's not a great game for Scottie. No. That dude is playing with absolutely dumb energy. That dude is playing the level of defense, his improved defense over the past 2-3 weeks, it feels like, has just been something to marvel at. He is another level locked in. Once the Raptors had that really ugly December stretch, Scottie Barnes took that personally, and he has been coming out night in, night out, even on the games when we're losing. And he is playing with an intensity that I don't care if we don't win another game over the course of the season. If he maintains that intensity, that is something that only the stars, the superstars, the top guys in the NBA have. Of course, there are guys that have it that aren't stars, superstars, but that is a huge predictor for future success. Scottie Barnes taking his game to the next level, the future of this organization. So I am very, very impressed. Even though, again, some people might look at this and be like, Ben, you're overreacting. You're overrating Scottie Barnes. You're doing whatever like this. Man, I've just been impressed with what Scottie's been able to do. I'd like for him to not complain to the refs as much, but other than that, he just keeps impressing me. He keeps impressing me with what he's able to do, what he's able to provide out there on the court. So shout out to Scottie Barnes again, 15, 7, and 5, still a good stat line, but not something that jumps off the box score, but it's still something that deserves a lot of credit. But the main man in this game, a couple of nasty dunks, reverse jams, dunks in traffic, all that type of stuff. But Gradey Dick is coming out here and showing, because, again, you're in your second year, you're going to have your ups and downs. He's taken a major leap this season, but January, especially where the young guys were, I want to say, phased out of the rotation and phased out of the offense and phased out of this stuff. This team went to more of a winning approach rather than a development approach. Gradey Dick, his numbers, his touches, his minutes, and all of that have taken a little bit of a hit. But tonight, against one of the league's best teams, not only, again, we're talking out there, for Gradey Dick here now at this point, on the offensive end, especially with the focus and stuff. He had 18 points in this one, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 7 of 9 shooting. Gradey Dick, phenomenal game out there, box score-wise, did a lot of stuff. But the intensity that he brought going up, matching up against Kawhi Leonard on certain possessions. Got a couple foul calls, on some of those possessions that I don't think were deserved, but that's what happens when you're a younger guy going up against one of the best players in the NBA. But Gradey Dick, the level, again, it's the word, it's intensity, it's passion, it's energy, it's motivate, whatever the heck it is. Like, Gradey Dick has that right now, and that's a huge positive, seeing in these games, knocking down his shots, being effective on offense, and then, again, because we know Gradey Dick's going to be able to shoot, but it's all the other things. That's going to determine his NBA path, his NBA trajectory, his whole course out there in the league. So, great stuff from Gradey there. Again, RJ Barrett was awesome in this game. Him Immanuel Quickley are back. He had 20 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals, especially RJ at home. He's just on another level. Again, no free throws tonight, but he's avoiding the free throw line after his recent performances, but that's been a crazy thing to see. But him and Immanuel Quickley, they definitely have a chemistry. They definitely have a rhythm out there, and I was happy with Immanuel Quickley's ability to facilitate, and then RJ Barrett's still getting touches out there. It's, even though Immanuel Quickley's clearly the point guard, RJ Barrett still gets a lot of touches, creates a lot of shots, creates a lot of opportunities when he's out there with IQ. So I like them as a duo, and I understand a lot of people being frustrated with Immanuel Quickley, being like, oh, well, he doesn't play, he doesn't do this, and that's of course what's going to happen after you get a big contract and you haven't played a ton of minutes. You haven't played a ton of games due to a multitude of injuries. But I'm excited to see this group actually have some games, actually have some run under their belt with actual performance. So that's some good stuff there. Going to be very, very interesting to see what happens at this year's trade deadline, because of course this team dug themselves a pretty significant hole. There's no denying that this team tanked the month of December, so they dug themselves a very significant hole. But moving forward, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because again, you do have young guys. You don't want to rush this rebuild like we did in 2021, and then you end up with a mid-level team, because again, there are some legitimate pieces, and Ochai Agbaji, young guy that could get some more run, get some more opportunities. Tonight we saw 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, really effective defense. Ja'Kobe Walter, 21 minutes, had 10 points, knocked out some nice threes, especially at the end, found a rhythm in this game. You have those guys. You have Jonathan Mobo, you have Jamal Shead, you have Jamison Bell. You have a lot of young guys that can have a real proper future out there in the NBA. So it's, even though Chris Boucher, Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, they are much better for this team in regards to impacting winning. That's the reality of it. They're just better for this group if we are trying to win now. But in the future, in terms of development, in terms of what the upside is for Ja'Kobe Walter, I mean, you see flashes of this night in, night out, of this guy just really what that upside can be. So you never know how potential will go, but we know this Raptors team is pretty effective at developing young players when they're in your system, when they're in the group, when they're in the squad. So I am very, very intrigued to see what happens with this team, with this group, and nice to see Chris Boucher get minutes. I mean, Orlando Robinson's been cool. It's he's cool to have out there on the roster, but Boucher, Olynyk, they're just have a more positive impact on winning. That's the reality of what's going on. So let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section down below. You guys, the best thing is far, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Again, madness across the NBA right now. I'm plugging Lakers Digest, I'm plugging Mavericks Digest, I'm plugging all these channels because, again, we got a lot of stuff cooking out here in the network, and want to plug some of the stuff I've been cooking up. So anyways, you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.